It was Christmas night in the village of Oguns, and all the streets were empty. Everyone was at home, celebrating peacefully. The priest was locking up the church, as he always did, but in the bushes nearby is where evil hid. The next morning, Father Conrad's dead body was found. We must solve the puzzle before he's in the ground. A mystery will unfold as you discover what we know. The detective will learn how all the sins will show.
Sorry to interrupt you, Mother Superior. I didn't realise you hadn't finished your breakfast yet.
Oh, not to worry. Just my elevensies. Us nuns have got to keep well fed while doing God's work. What brings you back to Oguns?
Well, Samantha and I decided to spend the holidays with her side of the family this year.
Oh, for your little one's first Christmas?
Exactly. Now, before we get started, can I just confirm you understand your rights for the case? This video call has been recorded and anything you say in it can be used as evidence.
Yes, I understand, Detective Walsh. We're very lucky you're here. Our village doesn't have any PIs of your caliber. What happened to Father Conrad was very sad. He didn't deserve to die.
Sister Sasha, I'm sure you know the situation with Father Conrad is... I'm sorry, am I boring you? Sister Sasha, a murder is a serious matter and I urge you to pay attention.
I'm sorry, Detective. Just not sure why you're speaking to me when I had nothing to do with it.
You're a part of the church, so I have to interview you. Now, did you witness anything I should know about? Afternoon, Paula. Can I just confirm you understand your rights?
Yes, I understand my rights.
Right. So I just had a couple of questions about the death of...
I didn't have anything to do with Father Conrad's death, if that's what you're asking.
Good evening, Mrs. Lee. Can I confirm that you received my email containing the rights for this meeting?
Yes, I received them, and I understand my rights.
Hello, Detective. I've heard lots about you. My mum was right. You are very handsome. And don't worry, I understand my rights. They were so amazingly...
Lucy, I think we have more pressing matters at hand.
What can I help you with?
Sister Evelyn, are you okay?
Sorry, I was just thinking about how bad things have been this year.
Yeah, the pandemic, the lockdowns, and now the murder of...
The amazing Father Conrad, who everyone loved, even though he was corrupt.
What was your relationship with him like?
As a shepherd looks after his scattered flock when he is with them, so I will look after my sheep. I will rescue them from all the places where they were scattered on a day of clouds and darkness. Ezekiel 34:12. For a long time I believed that Father Conrad was the shepherd, rescuing me from the darkness. But on the day he was murdered, I realized that wasn't the case.
Did he hurt you?
Well, he told our community something quite personal about me, which led to several rude comments from them. But if you don't mind, I'd rather not go into more detail.
All right. So, where were you and the other nuns on the night Father Conrad was murdered?
I had already retired to my chambers by that point, and Sister Sasha and Sister Evelyn hadn't left their rooms since the afternoon, so I assumed they were still there.
Well, why didn't they leave?
Well, Sister Sasha is always in her room, which infuriated Father Conrad. But Sister Evelyn spent lots of time with him. Although she did seem rather upset on Christmas Day. She wouldn't tell me why, so you're going to have to ask her about it.
Detective, do you know what conversion therapy is?
Yes. It's a treatment that aims to change a person's sexual orientation or suppress their gender identity. But the NHS condemns such practices.
Father Conrad didn't care about that. He made me believe that I needed to be cured. And it was my upbringing that made me this way. All my parents did was love me. He's the one who abused me, not them.
The Mother Superior said you were close. Did he abuse you on the day he died?
Yes, we were close. But at the beginning of December, he found out I was still talking to my ex-girlfriend. Her mother must have told him. So, he started giving me electric shock therapy and increased the dose on Christmas Day because I saw my ex at Mass. I tried to connect with Lucy, but I can't anymore. It's not fair that he committed the sin of adultery. I couldn't be with the woman I loved.
At the time of his murder, you were?
Locked in my room. I didn't want to come out. The next morning, I left to get fresh air. That's when I found his body and called the police.
Georgina Lee had an argument with Father Conrad after Christmas Eve Mass.
And can you remember anything specific about it?
Well, I'm not sure. Like, she's the richest person in the village and never donates to the church. Perhaps it had something to do with that. Oh, and I heard her say she wanted to kill him.
I've been informed that you had an argument with Father Conrad on Christmas Eve. Is that correct?
Yes.
And it was about?
Well, Detective, my daughter found out that Father Conrad and I were having an affair. So she told my husband, and he wanted to turn him in. As you know, the law of clerical celibacy cannot be broken in the Roman Catholic Church. So Father Conrad made up a lie that I came onto him, that it's my fault, not his. He then granted my husband a divorce, which is also forbidden, and it's causing me to lose everything. So I decided to confront him about it.
And that's when you told the priest you wanted to kill him.
It was a figure of speech. It's not my fault he was murdered, and I don't know who killed him.
I don't think a threat is a figure of speech, Mrs. Lee. You have the money. Perhaps you hired someone to do it for you. Or perhaps your daughter.
Detective, leave her out of this. Father Conrad was murdered on Christmas night while I was with my husband, trying to salvage our marriage, or what's left of it. And our daughter was with us.
Well, who else could it be then?
Detective, if you're as good as everyone says you are, shouldn't you be working this out for yourself? Go research the village records. Maybe it was one of the nuns. Or the sister of the poor boy the priest killed.
That death was declared an accident.
Yes, the priest pushing a boy off a balcony was an accident. My God, pull yourself together.
Do you know anyone else who's faced similar trauma because of him?
Not conversion therapy, no. But there was an altercation between Father Conrad and a poor boy last year, which resulted in the poor boy's murder. His sister Wendy and her solicitor were very upset that it was declared an accident. So, perhaps speak to them.
Hams's death is the real tragedy here, and Father Conrad should have gone to prison for it.
But his death was declared an accident.
Yes, Because the all-white jury was just as racist as Father Conrad. Why is my old case relevant anyway?
Well, because one of my key witnesses thinks that your plaintiff has something to do with my case.
Oh, you must be joking. Wendy's been through enough. First, her parents died in a car crash. Then her brother, who was so decent he tried to expose a corrupt priest, gets murdered by him. Now you interrogate me about the possibility of her being the murderer. Leave the poor girl alone.
I can see losing the case upset you.
Don't patronize me. I'm just shocked that they hired such a pathetic excuse of a detective to try to solve the case. Why did you even call?
Well, you were the solicitor in Wendy's case. The point of interviewing people is to find out what happened and why.
Are you trying to mansplain to me? I'm the best solicitor in this village.
Why did you try and get the priest convicted in the first place?
Lucy Lee.
Lucy Lee. Georgina Lee's daughter.
Yes. Lucy witnessed the whole thing when she went looking for her girlfriend in the church last year.
And her girlfriend is Sister Evelyn.
Yes, that's correct. They broke up a few days before Hamza was killed. She went to the church looking for her and saw everything.
So do you think Wendy or Lucy had something to do with the murder?
Really? Don't jump to conclusions. Also, if you try to convict Wendy, just know I'll be her solicitor.
I'd expect nothing less.
Hey, you. Everything okay?
Not really. Just had a meeting with the detective about Father Conrad's case. He's assuming everyone connected.
Yeah, my mum's already been interviewed by him. She said he's not doing a very good job, though. He even asked her who it could be.
Yeah, he asked me the same thing. I told him I thought it was Wendy.
What? Why?
Well, it wasn't me, and I had to give him something. I'm not going to prison for what someone else did.
Babe, you should have left her out of this. So, anyway, now that the priest is dead and the therapy has stopped, do you want to come over?
Luce, you know I can't. I told you why at Matt's. I'm sorry, but I can't love you anymore.
Her therapy's really fucked you up, hasn't it? Fine, I've got to go help my mum with packing anyway.
So no fingerprints on a murder weapon. And DNA? Inconclusive. Great. Thanks. Wendy.
Detective, if you're going to talk to me about my brother's death, I swear I'm going to fucking...
Wendy, calm down.
Paula messaged me before you rang. I know you think I'm the prime suspect. Is it because everyone else was with their families at Christmas? And I couldn't be because all mine are fucking dead.
Wendy, I know you're angry.
Angry? I'm fucking furious. Detective, do you have a family?
Yes?
Ha! See, even you have someone. Everyone does. From corrupt priests, to women going through divorces, to couples getting back together, to
Couples
solicitors...
have gotten back together. I mean, Sister Evelyn and Lucy Lee.
Yeah. Lucy told me they were together on Christmas Day.
Hmm.
I don't think she's gonna fucking lie. We became close after my brother's murder. She was always by my side until that fucking cunt of a bitch Evelyn came back. However, she still helped us try to get that cunt of a priest convicted.
Yeah, she was the key witness in your brother's case.
Yeah, she was always there for him. I hired her as his English tutor to help him with his dyslexia. She was so fucking upset when he died.
Were you or were you not with your mother on Christmas night?
I was.
Then why am I hearing conflicting stories about you?
I
You know, upon speaking to several others, it's clear it was...
Detective, I was with.
Lucy, stop. The DNA evidence came back from the lab today. I know you stabbed the priest. Now stop lying.
Fine, you want the truth? It was me, okay? Father Conrad was a corrupt priest who deserved to die.
No one deserves to die, Lucy. That's why Britain doesn't have the death penalty.
Father Conrad did. He ruined my parents' marriage. He outed my mentor in front of the whole church because she has an eating disorder. He bullied one of his nuns because she has chronic fatigue. He murdered my best friend's brother. He was extremely racist towards their solicitor, and on top of all of that, he gave my girlfriend electric shock therapy because he thought she was mentally ill for being with me. He destroyed my life and everyone that I love.
Lucy.
Detective, every one of us sins, but he was the biggest sinner of them all.
That may be the case. But you know what the difference is between you and the priest? He never confessed.
The case was solved and Lucy got 25 years to keep a village safe and dissolve all its fears. Some say she's a hero who deserved to be free, but lust is the most powerful deadly sin. Trust me.